guys, welcome back to my channel. First of all, I want to say thank you if you watched my last video and you reached out to me. I've heard some of just the kindest things I've ever heard in my life after sharing my story, and I can't tell you how comforting that is and what a weight off my shoulders it was to finally share that story. If you haven't watched it, it's just my last previous video, and one of the reasons why I wanted to put it on YouTube was because I feel like my IG followers probably know me as a dancer who became a makeup artist, and my YouTube subscribers probably know me as a makeup artist because that's the consistent content I put on here. So for you guys, I just wanted to give you some context about where I come from, what led me into focusing more on makeup. It's a passion that I've always had, but this sort of life-changing moment kind of catapulted my career, and I'm so grateful that it did. I don't think I would have been as far along in my makeup journey had that event not occurred. So everything happens for a reason, and I think each experience shapes us and helps us grow, and that is just a major example of that. So anyways, today I just wanted to do this look right here. I wore this over the weekend and I was just feeling myself, quite honestly. I don't usually wear this much eyeliner on the bottom, but I was just kind of playing with some things I had like right in front of me, and I really liked the way the look came out. I felt like the eyes were popping, the lips were busting, and I felt really confident that day, so I thought I would share this look with you guys. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, leave a comment, and if you haven't already, please subscribe. That being said, let's get into it. Okay, so first things first, I'm going in with my L'Oreal Pro Glow in the shade 208. I'm just going to take some on the back of my hand, and I'm taking, this is a Real Techniques brush, number 400, and I'm just applying this all over my face. Clearly I have a huge zit right here, so we will give that area some extra love. I'm just kind of like packing it on. This is a pretty like loose brush, so this technique works best with this brush. Make sure you get your neck. And your ears. Obviously this color is a bit golden for me, but everything will make sense once we highlight and contour and complete the look. For contour, I'm going in with my Wet n Wild Stick Foundation in the shade Almond, and just taking whatever random little brush this is. I feel like this is a good size to get right into like my cheekbone, so I like contouring with this little guy. Okay if this contour isn't perfect, because we are going to clean it up with our highlight. And even you can go back in with your foundation brush and just tap right over it to blend it even more. For concealer, I am going in with my NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer in the shade Honey. Taking some on the back of my hand. This is going to be the second lightest shade I use on my face. This is kind of a transition shade between my super bright concealer and this one. So I use this to kind of clean up the nose. And see how it's just a bit brighter. You don't want anything too drastic in this area. And take some more. And I'm just using, this is probably like a flat eyeshadow brush. Girl, just use what you have. That's what I always do. If I'm being completely honest with you, this look came to be when I was cleaning out my makeup drawer. And I was like, let me just see what makeup look I could put together with the random makeup that was in this random pouch. And I was just watching TV, playing with my makeup, and I ended up really loving the look. So I decided to do a tutorial on it. But I'm always just like, not only using what I have, but using what I have just right in front of me. Because makeup is all about technique and creativity. It's not necessarily about, you know, just having your go-to products there all the time. So after I've sort of highlighted my face with the honey, I'm going in with my Shape Tape. This is in the shade Light Neutral, and this is really light, so I'm just going to use this in really concentrated areas. And honestly, this thing is like almost empty. I don't use Shape Tape very often because I do feel like it's a little bit dry for me. Like, in natural lighting outdoors, I sometimes feel a little bit cakey when I wear this, but it just really like packs that punch of brightness that really, it makes your face look like that Instagram filter that contours you up. Like, I don't know, I just feel like this is the most impactful concealer. So if you want to take some cute selfies, put a little smoothing filter on, fine by me. I do think, like I said, in the outdoor lighting, it's a little cakey, a little creasy sometimes. But you know, sometimes you just want that poppin' ass under eye. So that's what we're going for today. So I just took some on the back of my hand, and I'm gonna start placing that under basically the same areas I placed my NARS Creamy Concealer and Honey, but just a little smaller. What do you guys think? I feel like I'm always having to choose between like impactful, full coverage makeup and makeup that looks like makeup and is dry and cakey. Probably a good alternative for this would be my Kevyn Aucoin. That's really creamy and also really pigmented. But yeah, I don't know. Nothing quite hits like a Shape Tape, I have to be honest. Then you can go back in with your foundation brush and just kind of blend those edges. And I like to just kind of pounce it in. I don't want to like stir it all up and undo everything I did. And to blend this nose contour, you could just take a tiny bit of foundation on your fluffy brush and just sort of hide it. Take the excess up here, just a very light layer over your contour and highlight just to help blend. So one of the new products I'm going to try today is the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Powder in the shade Light Medium. I had some CVS bucks today, quite a few. I don't know if you guys shop at CVS, but I had $14 in CVS bucks. So I was like, I'm going to buy some. I went there for blush. I really needed blush. I wanted to get my go-to Milani blush, but they didn't have the shade I love. But I was like, whatever, I'll get this other shade. But then I saw, in addition to my $14 extra bucks, I also had $7 off Maybelline products. So I was like, okay, maybe I should just get my blush and some Maybelline. And then you had to spend $20 to get the $7 off. So I wound up getting a few more things. So this was one of them. I'm testing this powder out for the first time. This is what it looks like. I wanted to get kind of like a skin-like powder that wasn't like too bright, but I'm looking at it. I don't know if this is bright enough for me to want to use it under my eyes. I feel like if I do that, it will undo my highlight. It'll be too dark, but I will use this to do my reverse contour down here, because I never like this area to be too light, because then you start to get into the realm of like white face, tan neck. So this is actually a nice shade for this. It's crazy how many shades of powder we need in our life. Yeah, I think that's perfect for that. I'm gonna go in with, this was the powder I used over the weekend when, like I said, I was feeling myself. Full disclosure, I was feeling myself on Instagram with a Paris smoothing filter, okay, which is not much, but in person, like I said, it did feel a teensy bit cakey. So what I used that day was this Air Spun loose face powder, and it's a heavy duty girl. Like, I feel like this powder is really thick, but it does the job in terms of brightening. So I'm gonna try this under my eye. See how much lighter that powder is than the one I used down here? And I'm just taking it on a puff, and I'm kind of like reinforcing that contour along the nose, and then setting that under eye. Let's just be real. There's makeup that looks good in person, and there's makeup that looks good on camera. And you're lucky if you can figure out how to do both. But a lot of times it's one or the other. But it's fine. I feel like because we are still in lockdown, most of the time we're wearing makeup, we're probably just taking a selfie anyway. So I would say this is a makeup application style that looks really great on camera. And if I wanted it to look better in person, I probably would just use some better quality, more finely milled powders. Again, this is just kind of like using what's on hand, using what I got with my CVS books, using what's convenient to me, because before I am a YouTuber, I'm a makeup artist, so I do invest most of my money in my kit for my clients, which I don't use on myself. So the makeup I use on myself is kind of just odds and ends sometimes, but I think that works too, because it shows you that you don't need, you know, all the bells and whistles to create a look. It's more about your technique and your application, and that's why I have fun with YouTube, is because I can practice my technique. And I mean, that's what I am my own guinea pig. I experiment on myself, and you know, the trial and error things I learn from myself, I take that and I do or don't do, you know, whatever works or not works on my clients. Whoa, that was a lot of words. So once I've set the brighter areas of my face, I'm gonna go ahead and contour with my Too Faced pressed powder in the shade Warm Sand. And I'm just kind of like stamping that on. I think that Fit Me powder is gonna be really good to help like blend everything out. Okay, while that's setting, baking, broiling, I'm going in with my Trendsetter pencil from Morphe. I'm going to be using this for my eyeliner, and I'm just gonna start creating a wing. And I'm going all the way into my inner corner here. All the way along the lid, lining the whole entire lash line, and then just winging it out here. Doesn't have to be perfect, because next you're gonna take a pencil brush like this, and you're gonna blend it out. And you can stop here if you want, but if you're like me and you like a little extra definition, I just, on top of that, add a liquid black eyeliner wing. So after I did my other eye, I just applied some black mascara to my top lashes, and I'm going to apply some Demi Wispies right on top of those. So next I'm taking that same Trendsetter eyeliner, and I'm going in my waterline. Honestly, I'm just kind of going in my waterline and sort of outside my waterline. We're going to smudge this out as well. Make sure you go into your tear duct so you get that kind of fox eye moment. And with that same brush we used before, we're gonna smudge it out. This is what makes the eyes look super sultry and cat-like and just poppin'. And you can kind of connect your bottom lash line to your wing. And then to soften things up, I like to just go in with my bronzer. and use this to kind of transition all the eyeliner into the rest of the makeup. So that means taking it right here and then also up top. I just kind of even pack this on my eyes. And one thing you can do too to help clean it up, just go back in with that concealer brush and kind of lift everything. Just going to dust off some of this bake here. To soften this look up a little bit, I'm not using black mascara on the bottom lashes. I'm using a brown mascara. So now the one thing I actually went to the store for, my blush. I'm testing this out. This is a Maybelline Fit Me blush in, I believe the shade is, oh, this shade is Rose. Okay, let's see. My trouble with blush is I feel like they're never like pigmented enough. Besides the Milani one, everything else I feel like I have to do 100 like swipes for it to show. But oh, there she blows. Okay, that might be a lot. I don't shy away from blush because it's the first thing to fade away. So even when it looks crazy, it'll literally look normal in like 2 seconds. Okay, I maybe didn't need to go so hard with the blush. Overcompensated a little bit, but like I said, it'll fade. And you can kind of dust a little blush everywhere. I learned this from Painted by Spencer. He takes it under the eye. Okay, I'm gonna take a little bit of that Fit Me powder. Do some damage control over here because might have gone too hard in the paint. Okay. So one thing I like to do after I get my lashes on, especially if they're an old crusty dusty pair like these, I like to go over them with some eyeliner just to kind of like repaint them black so you can't see like any leftover makeup or residue. Just to kind of give some more life, I'm going in with this Dickinson's Hydrating Facial Mist with rose water. And I'm just now I'm going to start working on the brows. I'm just taking a spoolie and kind of combing out some of that makeup that's in there, starting to get an idea of the shape I want. And then I'm going to use this LA Girl Perfect Precision. I guess this is technically an eyeliner, but it's dark brown, and I'm going to use it for my brows. And then I'm just going to take some clear soap. This is just like an unscented clear soap. Spray it with my Dickinson's. And then this next move is a little risky, but if you have really dark eyebrows, you can pull it off. I'm going in with that same dark brown mascara that I used on my under eyes and just kind of using as little as possible to kind of comb those brows. But this is pretty dark and it's just dark enough or just light enough where I can still wear it. But if you had like medium brown eyebrows, this would not work. Just give them a little lift. Now for the lips, I'm going in with MAC pencil in the shade Cork. Oh, she melted. And I'm not really like overdrawing my lips too much here. I'm just getting a nice outline so that they'll have that dimension. As you can see, this looks very dark, but trust the process. Taking this tiny Real Techniques brush. This is a crease brush, but I'm using it for my lips. It is the Real Techniques 306. And the Revlon HD matte lip color in the shade, girl, what's the shade? Forever. Taking some on the back of my hand. Now I'm going to use this brush as if this is my lip liner. So this was just looking entirely too dark. I was gonna wipe it off and start over, but I thought, you know, I'm sure we've all made our lip color a little too dark every now and again, so I'll show you how I fix it. I start by just removing the inside and kind of cleaning up my lip shape with my concealer brush in hopes that we can salvage at very least the shape of the lip. So before adding any more product to the brush, I'm just going to take the residue now that's starting to look a lot more reasonable. So I never need to like overdraw my lips too much in the beginning because I feel like as the process goes, even when I rub my lips together, it just pushes the lipstick out, like so it looks overlined more naturally. I don't know if that's just my face structure or that's a technique that applies to everyone, but try it at home. Like line your lips and then just kind of rub them together a little bit and see if it gives you that fuller look, because that's what I do. I don't know if that's what you're supposed to do. That's how I do it. Okay, so once you got a good wash of color with the Revlon, but the brand rubbed off, it's crusty dusty, but if you have just like a lighter mauve shade, go with that, because that's what I'm doing. And that's just gonna lighten things up. I almost forgot the finishing touch. So because I have this freaking planet on my face, I'm going to turn that. Obviously you can cover pimples, but you can't really hide texture, so I'm just going to make it a moment and I'm going to turn it into a mole with my brow pencil. Little beauty mark, if you will. New beauty mark, who dis? Alright, this is the final look. I hope you love this video. Thank you so much for watching and have a beautiful day. bye.